Tonight, Republican candidate Tim Michels and incumbent Governor Tony Evers face off in the first and only debate ahead of the midterm election. We'll share a preview. Plus, a closer look at an inequity that has existed in Wisconsin for decades and what's being done to change it. And a new warning from health officials as cancer rates in young people continue to rise globally. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. In just 2 hours, the candidates for governor will meet here for the one and only gubernatorial debate hosted by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association. For more on what to expect from the candidates tonight, reporter Will Keneally joins us from the debate set with a preview. Will?
So, Eric, the thing to underscore here is just how close the race between Governor Tony Evers and Tim Michels is. The polls continue to show that the race is a tie. This will be the one chance voters get to see the candidates square off. The candidates have echoed just how close this race is. Earlier this week, Evers called the race one of the most important he's ever run in, and Michels has continued to say that this is a crucial referendum on Democrats like Evers. So what are we expecting to hear tonight? We heard from the Evers campaign earlier today. In media availability, they're looking to highlight things like education, local funding, including for police and abortion. On the Michels side, we're likely to hear that it's a referendum and have that come out in things like the economy and inflation and crime, which has been a key issue for Republicans. Eric?
Will, thank you. The debate will be held right here in our News 3 Now studios. You can watch it here on Channel 3 or on our live stream at channel3000.com starting at 7. Well, a chilly weekend ahead. Could snow be on the way? Julian Seawright on the weather patio with more. Julian?
Well, the good news is we are a bit south of where the real cold is, where we're looking at some flurries for our friends in northern Wisconsin, but we can't rule out the possibility of some showers, which we're dealing with just to the northeast of Madison. So those who are looking for some Friday night football, well, it's going to be a chilly one, and also got to be aware of potential seeing some showers developing later into the evening. As we can see, the system in itself is continuing to flow its way easterly as we go on throughout the rest of our evening. Now, planning it out for us, this is what we're looking at for the next about 6 hours. It's been a dreary day, it's been a chilly day, and it's going to stay that way throughout much of the rest of the evening. We're already into the mid-40s. We're going to drop into the upper 30s by the time we get into the 9 o'clock hour. Cloud cover in itself is not really going to start to dissipate until we get close to the midnight hour for us. But folks, we got to talk about the Friday night lights. So the final drive forecast is the one thing that we're going to be talking about, because football weather's on tap, but just how chilly is it going to be? But we'll have all the details of what you need to know and a look at our weekend coming up right after in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, Eric.
Julian, thank you. A family who says their loved one was shot and killed by an officer last night says they're looking for answers. Last night, Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett confirmed one of his deputies was involved in a deadly shooting. It happened in the village of Windsor. Tahlil Muhdin spoke to that family and joins us with more. Tahlil?
Eric, that family is identifying that person as a 46-year-old Quantez Campbell. They learned of his death last night when law enforcement officers contacted the man's mother. But they say little information about the circumstances surrounding his death has been shared with the family so far.
That was the biggest thing when it came to this. We just didn't want him to be portrayed as something that he wasn't. So we just want to paint a picture, like, just to let everybody know that he was a family man, a loving man. And
court records show the 46-year-old had a warrant issued about 3 weeks ago for failure to appear in a pending felony criminal case. Filings show he's accused of helping steal several $1,000s worth of copper coils from UW Hospital. Today, family said they want people to know he was more than his mistakes as they look for answers in their grief. The DOJ has not yet formally identified the person shot or released any additional information about the incident. We don't know if Campbell was a suspect or involved in a different way.
Tahlil, thank you. Janesville police are investigating after an Amazon delivery van was robbed at gunpoint. Now, this happened just after 9 last night. It was in the 1700 block of Green Forest Run. According to the incident report, 3 males approached the van and demanded money from the driver. The driver didn't have any money, so the suspects took a number of packages before running off. Anyone with information about the suspect's identity is asked to contact Janesville Police. The number there at the bottom of your screen. 2 people were hospitalized after they were ejected from their vehicle. This was a rollover crash in Grant County. Happened on Doc Brooks Road Wednesday morning. Officials say the driver drove into a ditch, veered back toward the center of the road before sliding. It then rolled several times and came to a stop in the opposite ditch. The driver and passenger were hospitalized. Their condition is unknown at this time. The trial of Darrell Brooks resumed this morning with immediate interruptions by the defendant moments after the jury was brought into the courtroom. They had to be taken out once again. Brooks raised concerns about paperwork that the judge said needed to be taken up with the clerk of courts. The judge then called for a brief break for Brooks to cool down. After the break, several police officers who were at the Waukesha Christmas parade that day took the stand. One officer told the jury he saw Brooks veer his vehicle directly directly into a group that was walking in the parade. You can watch a live stream of the proceedings at channel3000.com and on our Facebook and YouTube pages. More than 3 months after Roe v. Wade fell and left Wisconsin with a near total abortion ban, complexities for doctors are only increasing. Dr. Wendy Malaska heads the Wisconsin Medical Society, and she says in terms of life-saving care for pregnant people in Wisconsin, the line is grayer than ever. Doctors could be prosecuted if they decide a mother needs a life-saving abortion that prosecutors believe wasn't needed. Situations like that are increasing, including, for instance, pregnant women diagnosed with cancer.
There's been concern, well, can I treat them with the chemotherapy that they need to help with their cancer, knowing that that might cause a miscarriage or an abortion? And so, you know, we want to save the life of the mother, but is it the life of the mother or the health of the mother?
That's just one of a host of complications. Dr. Malaska sitting down with our Naomi Coles this Sunday for a lengthy discussion on For the Record at 10:30 in the morning with more details. Black babies in Wisconsin are 3 times as likely as white babies to die before their first birthday. This inequity has been largely unchanged for decades. Governor Evers and the Department of Health Services are stepping in with money to try and fix the problem. Our Catherine Merck took a look at where the money will go.
This is a consistent thing we see. We see racial gaps in pregnancy-related morbidity and mortality. We see gaps in infant mortality.
Governor Tony Evers is sending $16 million in grants to improve maternal and child health. It's going toward efforts to close equity gaps in who lives and dies, something health professionals in our area are familiar with.
This is an issue that we've been aware of for quite a while.
We're seeing that Black pregnant people and that are pregnant or within a year postpartum, we're seeing that they are dying at over 2 times higher rates than white individuals. And that is something that is definitely not acceptable.
The data is troubling. While Black, Asian, and Hispanic mothers make up only a quarter of Wisconsin births in 2016 and 2017, they represented nearly half of all pregnancy-related deaths in the same time period. Why is this happening? It's something state officials, UW, and SSM Health have been looking into.
What are issues that are causing low birth weight, and where are we seeing access issues?
There are so many root causes, and there's so many things that are playing a role.
Factors related to structural racism, like segregation, for example, like area level bias, are actually linked to racial disparities in preterm birth.
While the answers will take more than just money to fix, health professionals say it's a huge step toward closing these gaps.
These issues are so important. This is not the only solution, but it's a step in the right direction. And if we continue to work together, continue to fight for change, continue to raise our voices about these issues, we will see progress.
Reporting in Madison, I'm Catherine Merck with News 3 Now.
Of the $16 million, $5.5 million will go to the Medical College of Wisconsin, $5.5 million to the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine and Public Health, then another $5 million to the Family Health Division of the State Health Department. Well, right now, flags in North Carolina are at half-staff following a deadly mass shooting. Happened along a trail in a residential neighborhood in Raleigh last night. Police say the alleged 15-year-old gunman killed 5 people, including an off-duty officer and his own brother. After an hours-long search and standoff, the gunman was taken into custody.
There are several families in our community waking up this morning without their loved ones.
No child, no grandparent, no one should feel this fear in their communities.
The suspect is in the hospital. Police have not said whether he injured himself or was injured by responding officers. Investigators are working to find a motive for that attack. After days of relentless Russian missile attacks, the people of Ukraine are commemorating an annual holiday for soldiers killed in battle. Skylar Henry has the latest.
At a military hospital in Kyiv, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky gave medals to soldiers and doctors treating their injuries. In Zaporizhia, the devastation Russian missiles have brought to large parts of Ukraine can be seen everywhere. With nowhere to hide during attacks, this 61-year-old resident says he waits outside to avoid being trapped by falling debris. At a summit in Kazakhstan, Russian President Vladimir Putin said there's no need for massive new strikes on Ukraine because the Kremlin's targets have been hit. Dozens of Ukrainians died during days of missile strikes on civilians and vital infrastructure. Putin said the barrage came in response to last weekend's bombing of a key bridge connecting Russia with the annexed Ukrainian territory of Crimea. The Pentagon says it's in touch with SpaceX and the Ukrainian Defense Ministry after Elon Musk warned his company can't indefinitely foot the bill for the Starlink satellite service that's been a main mode of communication for Ukraine's armed forces. Back in Ukraine's southern city of Mykolaiv, the regional governor said this 11-year-old boy was rescued from under the rubble, where he had spent 6 hours after a missile strike. Across the country Friday, Ukrainians honored fallen soldiers on the annual Defenders Day. This woman, who says her husband was killed in battle in the more than 8-month-old war, calls it the highest sacrifice. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
An alert issued by the Treasury, Commerce, and State Department says Western sanctions have helped the U.S. and its allies restrain Russia's ability to replace its weapons, including more than 6,000 pieces of military equipment destroyed in the war on Ukraine. Here in Madison, Veterans for Peace and local constituents held a demonstration calling on lawmakers to reduce the dangers of nuclear war. Sunday marks the 60th anniversary of the start of the Cuban Missile Crisis, widely regarded as the closest the world has ever gotten to nuclear war, that is, until this year. Nuclear war threats have risen in recent months with the war in Ukraine. Organizers say not enough is being done to de-escalate tensions between nuclear superpowers.
I just think it's important to build a movement, an anti-war, anti-nuclear movement in times like this, when, in my opinion, it feels largely absent from kind of the national stage in the past couple of months.
The group is also asking local elected officials to halt plans to bring nuclear-capable F-35 warplanes to Madison. The protest is one of several around the country today as part of the growing Diffuse Nuclear War campaign. Chilly temperatures continue into the weekend. Julian has the latest next at 5, plus a new warning from health officials as more and more young people are being diagnosed with cancer. What could be causing the rise in cases after the break? And tonight at 6, a Madison teacher becomes one of just 3 in the U.S. to receive a prestigious award for teaching journalism. Her story next hour on News 3 Now at 6. And the Dow finishes up for the week, but closes today down some 404 points. The NASDAQ falls about 328. S&P loses almost 87. We'll be right back.
Ashley's Ultimate Sale is going on now. Shop in store today and get ultimate discounts. Clearance items are up to 78% off. Plus, get a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. Don't miss these ultimate savings. Only at Ashley.
The Internet of Things is evolving, creating the Internet of You. And Spectrum, America's leading internet and mobile provider, is bringing you seamless connectivity across all your devices. Introducing Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits, advanced Wi-Fi, and Spectrum Mobile Unlimited, all for just $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999. Spectrum Internet delivers speeds up to a gig with over 99.9% network reliability. Advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security and privacy that automatically blocks threats to protect all of your devices. And Spectrum Mobile gives you unlimited talk, text, and data with nationwide 5G and the most reliable service coast to coast. Switch now. Call 833-673-4999. At Spectrum, it's not just about connecting things. It's about connecting you. Get it all with Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
I'm Sheriff Jim Johnson.
I'm Sheriff Eric Severson.
We've got the real story on Mandela Barnes.
Barnes wants to defund our police, but he spent over $600 grand of your money on police protection for himself.
Barnes wants to eliminate bail for violent felons, and his administration has already released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists.
Take it from us.
Mandela Barnes policies are a threat to your family.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Hey, we're here at the local farmers market where Informed Choice Insurance Agency is offering fresh, hand-picked local Medicare. What do you mean when you say shop local for Medicare?
A lot of Medicare health plans have benefits that are specific to your county. So why would you call a national 1-800 number when your local Medicare plans have all the bells and whistles the national TV ads promise, only better?
Don't be fooled by national TV hype. When it comes to your Medicare options, keep it local with Informed Choice Insurance Agency, and their services are free.
Ashley's Ultimate Sale is going on now. Shop in store and get the ultimate mattress discounts. Get 55% off select Beauty Rest mattresses. Plus, buy any Tempur-Pedic mattress and get $300 in free furniture. Don't miss these ultimate savings. Only at Ashley.
An individual dies after an officer-involved shooting in Windsor. Details of the case are still being investigated. News 3 Now is joined by the person's family members and shares their reactions to the incident. Tonight at 6.
Once you start, you just can't stop.
On UW Homecoming Week, Mark Kane introduces you to a Wisconsin alum with a unique collection that chronicles decades of Badger history. Right on the button. Monday on News 3 Now at 10. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Actor Robbie Coltrane, who played the lovable gamekeeper Hagrid in the Harry Potter films, has died. According to his agent, Coltrane passed away today. It's unclear how he died. The Scottish-born actor's other credits include the British series Cracker and James Bond films GoldenEye and The World Is Not Enough. Coltrane was 72 years old. Parents know the start of the school year comes with runny noses, maybe a cough or two, but an early spike in cases of specific cold virus could be cause for concern. Wisconsin is seeing increasing cases of RSV, or a respiratory virus that typically peaks during the winter months. The virus can give anyone a common cold. It's usually mild, but it can be more severe for young children.
Any parent's going to worry about this, but it's going to be the same things you would always look for. So just because your child has a cold doesn't mean you need to immediately worry, but look out for the things like difficulty breathing, like signs of respiratory distress.
Normal precautions like disinfecting and masking can protect against the virus. If your child is having trouble breathing, you should take them to get checked out. Early onset cases of more than a dozen major cancers are on the rise across the globe, but what's the cause? Is it lifestyle choices or better screening technology? Isabel Rosales has more details.
You're too young to have cancer. You know, that phrase is used a lot.
But according to a new study, more and more young people around the globe under the age of 50 are being diagnosed each year with early onset cancer.
This is exactly what I'm seeing in clinic, unfortunately. I mean, the number of people that are presenting with advanced and unfortunately often incurable cancers in their 20s and 30s definitely seems to be skyrocketing.
Dr. Sunil Kamath is a gastrointestinal medical oncologist at the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio. He says the variety of different cancers on the rise in young people really surprised him. According to a review of cancer registries across 44 countries, early onset cases are rising for 14 types of cancers, many of which affect the digestive system.
The typical risk factors we think of that would cause these different tumor types are definitely different and specific to each one.
The review mentions that sensitive testing happening more in young people could account for part of the upswing, but many, including Dr. Kamath, say it mostly comes down to lifestyle. Obesity, diets rich in processed foods, smoking, and alcohol consumption, just to name a few. Dr. Kamath says one of the most important things young people can do is advocate for themselves when something doesn't feel right.
Pay attention to, what's going on with your body. And some people are going to get some resistance from their medical team. And it does mean they need to push a little harder to get to the bottom of what's going on.
In Washington, Isabel Rosales.
Last year, the rising incidence of colon cancer in younger adults prompted the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force to lower the age at which it recommends doctors start screening people for colon cancer to 45. Well, let's get a look at your certified most accurate weather. Julian Seawright with your forecast. Julian?
Well, we have a chilly night on tap, Eric, and on top of it, we could see a potential of some showers starting to develop later into our evening. So let's get right into it. This is what we're seeing on our radar. Now, note, we are looking at a bit of some showers, but they're not hitting the ground. As of right now, the surface level, we have such dry air that it's really evaporating. All of the rain or any kind of moisture that we're seeing is really aloft for us, and areas even to the north are getting a couple of flurries, but it's not touching the ground because of all the dry air for us here on the surface. Now, this is what we're looking at here. In terms of the system that's moving through the upper Midwest, it's brought in cold air, plenty of showers that have been snow, especially for Minnesota. But for us, we're looking at mainly still the rain. We're still above the freezing point for us. We're not going to look at too much in terms of snow, especially for us here in southern Wisconsin, but we are still going to be feeling that chill as we get into tonight. But again, since the surface, we just don't have the moisture as of right now. And so everything that's falling is pretty much just evaporating before it even touches the ground. So we're not looking at, as of right now, the developments of showers, but potentially as we get into the later part of today or even for tonight, we could start to see some saturation, which would mean we would look at some developments of showers, which could impact your final dry forecast. But as of right now, we are looking at temperatures to stay within the chilly side. We're looking at temperatures into the mid to lower 40s for us, and overnight, we'll finally start to see that cloud cover really start to clear up for us. But some showers are possible early. It's one thing to watch for, but until we get that saturation, it still may not hit the ground. Tonight is going to be a very cold one. We're looking at low 31 degrees for us here in Madison, and even transitioning into tomorrow, the good news is it's going to be relatively decent. We're looking at a low in the 50s, and on top of it, it's not going to be as chilly as it was for today, but still not going to be seeing too much in terms of improvement. Now, planning out the rest of our evening, we're going to see the cloud cover start to clear up by the time we get into tonight. Transitioning into the overnight, going into our Saturday, waking up, it is going to be a chilly one. Make sure that you have your coat and you are bundled up because it's not going to see much improvement until we get into the later part of our Saturday afternoon. We're finally going to start to rise into those lower 50s, in some areas into the upper 50s just to the west of Dane County. Now, as we get into our Saturday nights, we're still looking for a bit of a chilly night for us. Not going to be as chilly as we are looking at for tonight. We're looking more into the upper 30s. Cloud cover will return, and on top of it, we are looking for some windy conditions to start up Saturday night going into our Sunday. So one other thing to be mindful of. Not looking at much in terms of precipitation, mainly trace amounts, but the winds are going to be the one other thing that we're going to have to watch for going into this weekend. Saturday night into Sunday, we're looking at gusts picking up close to around 30 miles per hour. Here's a look at our weekend forecast, though, folks. Looking at Saturday to be the best day, then Sunday is going to be chilly once again, around 48 degrees for us. And taking a look at our long range going into next week, we're starting off chilly once again. Could potentially see a shower or two, but again, nothing very concrete, but it will be chilly. You're not going to see improvements until we get into next weekend. But a quick look at our traffic as of right now. You're still looking at pretty smooth conditions along the belt line, east and westbound. Little slow spots on the eastbound side as of right now, just off of Fish Hatchery. But onto the interstates, we're still looking pretty good as we get into the rest of our 5 p.m. commutes. It's going to do it for our weather and traffic. Back to you, Eric.
All right, Julian, thank you. Happening now, the Madison Night Market is in full swing. The market, a celebration of the city's unique and inspiring creative culture. The event includes food and art vendors, pop-up restaurant experiences, and live music at Lisa Link Peace Park throughout the evening hours. It's a great opportunity to support local businesses in the downtown Madison area. Virtual tourism. It's been a big thing since the pandemic started. Now there's a way to visit the holiest sites in the world right from home. We'll show you how they're doing it next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
A 12-year-old girl can't legally drive a car. At 12, she can't even vote. But if this little girl were tragically raped or a victim of incest and became pregnant, Radical Tim Michaels would force her to deliver the baby. He said it's, quote, not unreasonable for the state government to mandate rape victims to give birth. Would it be unreasonable if he were forcing this on you? Let him know on Election Day.
Trust your feet to Morgan's Shoes.
Loa Footwear, a name synonymous with premium outdoor footwear for 80-plus years. Our patented mono-wrap construction wraps the foot in a lightweight yet firmly supportive frame. We use a softer polyurethane in our midsoles that provides better shock absorption and ultimate comfort underfoot. Plus, our patented Gore-Tex liner is more durable and creates a smoother fit, thus less potential for blisters or discomfort.
Comfort with style. Trust your feet to Morgan Shoes.
Morgan Shoes, Hilldale.
Remember this? Forecasts are predicting an unreasonably cold and snowy winter. Now's the time to winterproof your home with USA Insulation. 35% more efficient than traditional insulation. Our foam in your walls keeps the cold air out and your warm air in. It's like putting a coat around your entire home. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Jam out on the strength machines and get down with some dumbbells. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A new virtual venture in Israel is giving tourists the chance to visit some of the holiest sites in the world without even leaving home. Just one requirement, a virtual reality headset. Israeli-Canadian company Blimey hopes the technology will bridge cultural divides. They spent years capturing 360-degree views of Christian, Islamic, and Jewish religious festivals, and then stitched it all together to create a virtual window of opportunity for tourists.
They can teleport themselves into various holy sites across the old city of Jerusalem.
Make your way across the basilica to the chapel known as the Ejected, containing the tomb of Jesus.
And developers say the creative element appeals to the next generation too, drawing young people from different backgrounds closer together. Virtual tourism has been a big hit since COVID. Other companies are offering virtual tours of ancient attractions in Rome, like the famous Colosseum. We're back with a final check of Julian's First Warn forecast in just a moment.
Don't like paying taxes? Neither does Mandela Barnes. Barnes didn't pay thousands in property taxes he owed. Barnes failed to pay his taxes, but he wants you to pay more. He supported raising Wisconsin's gas tax nearly 30%, even though we already pay some of the highest gas taxes in the country. And he supported a $1 billion tax increase on Wisconsin families and an income tax as high as 70%. Mandela Barnes, another tax-raising, hypocritical politician. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Save 11% on everything at Menards. Keep your home's exterior beautiful and protected with Cedar Creek vinyl siding. This low-maintenance siding withstands the elements and comes in 16 colors, ready to install. All 11% off. Let in the fresh air with Larson Storm Doors. The Lakeview Split View Storm Door comes equipped with screen-away retractable screens. Choose from over 20 Larson Storm Door styles in stock. All 11% off.
Save big money at Menards.
Experience does count. When you're shopping for new furniture, a mattress set, or flooring, come to the experts at McGann Furniture and Flooring in Baraboo. Our experienced staff is well-trained in home decorating and will answer all your questions so you can buy with confidence. You'll find big city selection and an enjoyable shopping experience. And remember, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. Come see the difference experience can make at McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
Wells Fargo lets you know where you stand with your FICO credit score. What if you knew where you stood with everything? Like your future in-laws.
Hope you like cats.
I hope your parents like me. They're whispering.
The kitties like her.
Oh, can they tell I'm allergic? Tears of joy.
Welcome to the family.
Like knowing where you stand? When it comes to your credit score, you can with Wells Fargo.
Some numbers are thrilling. Some impressive. Some just right. After an accident, there's one critical number. The number that helps you get your life back by factoring in your needs for today and tomorrow. That's where Habish and Rotier's numbers really add up. With over 90 years of client successes and 13 offices to help you wherever you are. No other personal injury law firm is better suited to get the amount that's right for you.
Life doesn't stop for diabetes. Be ready for every moment with Glucerna. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand that's scientifically designed to help manage your blood sugar. Live every moment. Glucerna.
People remember ads with young people having a good time. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a pool party.
Good times insurance.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Julian's back. Chilly, if you're going out to those high school football games tonight, bundle up a bit.
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to need the gloves and hat tonight. We're looking at temperatures to fall into the 30s for tonight, folks, but heading into the weekend, a little bit of improvements heading into Saturday, but then it's going to be back to the chilly side going into Sunday and for Monday. One thing to watch for as well, we're going to be seeing winds really pick up going in from Sunday to Monday, so it's not only just going to be chilly, but it's also going to be windy.
Yeah, next weekend looks a little bit more like what we need at this time of year. I hope that holds. Julian, thanks. We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. The CBS Evening News is coming your way next. Stay tuned.